हरे कृष्ण माता जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। जडान्धमूकबधिर पिशाच उन्मादकवत् अवधूतवेषो अभिभाष्यमाणोऽपि जनानां गृहीतमौनव्रतस्तूष्णीं बभूव। थैंक यू माता जी। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Mathaji. Hare Krishna. Chitramohini Mathaji, go ahead, please.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। जड़ा अंध मूक बधिर पिशाच उन्मादक वद अवधूत वेषो अभिभाष्यमानाः अपि जनानां गृहीता मौनव्रता तूष्णी बभूव। हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
Thank you.
थैंक यू माताजी।
Anjali Mataji, go ahead, please.
हरे कृष्ण। जड अंधमूक बधिर पिशाचः उन्मादकवत् अवधूत वेषः अभिभाषमाणः अपि जनानां गृहीत मौनव्रतः तृष्णा बभूव। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Prafulla Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो
Mataji.
भगवते वासुदेवाय। जड़
Go ahead.
अंध मूक बधिर पिशाच उन्मादक अवधूत वेश अभिभाष्यमाणो अपि जनानां गृहीत मौन व्रत तूष्णीय बभूव। हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Thank you,
माता
Hare
जी।
Krishna. Srinivas Rao Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। जडान्धमूक बधिर पिशाचो उन्मादकवद् अवधूत वेषोऽभिभाष्यमाणोऽपि जनानां गृहीत मौन व्रतसु व्रतः उष्णीं तुष्णीं बभूव। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Surya Prakash Rao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता, धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
Namaste.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। जडान्धमूक बधिरम पिशाचोन्मदकवाद अवधूत वेशो अभिभाष्य मानोपि जनानां गृहीत मौनव्रत तुष्टिं बभूव। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Venkat Narasimha Rao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
जडांधमोक्ष बधिरो पिशाचोन्मादकवत् अवधूत वेशोभिभाष्य मानोऽप्यो जनानां गृहीत मानं मौनव्रतस्तुष्टिं बहुव। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Revati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
जटान्तमुखं पदीरभीषा चोन्मादकवत् अवतातवेषो अभिभाष्य यानो अभिजान गृहीत मौनव्रतस्तूष्णीं बभूव। हरे कृष्ण माता जी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Hare Krishna. Okay, Shubha Rao Prabhuji, go for it, please. Shubha Rao Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
Pranam.
यस माता जी। Just to take my specs. जडान्धमूक बधिर पिशाचोन्मादकवद् अवधूत वेशोऽभिभाष्य मानोऽपि जनानां गृहीत मौनव्रतस्तुष्टिं बभूव। हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Thank you, Krishna. जड अंध मुखा बधिरा पिशाचा उन्मादका वत अवधूत वेशा अभिभाष्यमानः अपि जनानां गृहीता मौनव्रतः तूष्णीं बभूव। Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada की जय। After accepting the feature of Avadhuta, a great saintly person without material cares, Lord Rishabdev passed through human society like a blind, deaf, and dumb man, an idle stone, a ghost, or a madman. Although people called him such names, he remained silent and did not speak to anyone. Purport by His Divine Grace Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word Avadhuta refers to one who does not care for social conventions, particularly the Varnashram Dharma. However, such a person may be situated fully within himself and be satisfied with the Supreme Personality of Godhead on whom he meditates. In other words, one who has surpassed the rules and regulations of Varnashram Dharma is called Avadhuta. Such a person has already surpassed the clutches of Maya and he lives completely separate and independent. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjanjalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadavahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priyai. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमः विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे कृष्णा. So after accepting the feature of Avadhuta, a great saintly person without material cares, Lord Rishabdev passed through human society like a blind, deaf, and dumb man, an idle stone, a ghost, and a madman. Although people called him such names, he remained silent and did not speak to anyone. Let's do a quick recap. Hey Krishna, I'm sorry. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, the creative impetus, chapter 5, which is entitled as Lord Rishabdev's teachings to his sons. And Lord Rishabdev taught his sons different topics, right? What was the first thing? Okay, of all the things, tell me what was the first thing that he taught his sons to do? The first, very first thing. Do this. First verse.
One has to do austerities and
Austerity.
Tapasya, very nice. Tapodivyam. Right? So the key line is tapasya. Now you see, he gave many instructions as to how to rule, how to listen to the brahmanas, how to live a detached life where attachment is to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how not to have ownership over anything. He went through so many topics, but he started with the topic of tapasya. And we are seeing that when he finished the instructions, what was the last instruction he gave? What did you read yesterday?
All the senses and mind we should engage for his service.
Yes. So so you see, he said, he concluded that brahmanas are the best. Then he advised that don't be envious of any living entity, moving or non-moving. Then he said that the best use or the only use of all our senses, gross or subtle, working or knowledge acquiring senses, is to engage in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if you're not doing it, then we are actually not be able to come out of the clutches of Maya, right? If we are not using our senses for this purpose, then we stay in Maya. If we use it, then we get out of the Maya. And then what happens? He gets up and he imbibes the sacrificial fire within himself and he goes. Right? So this feature is called Avadhuta. So I was reading a little bit about what does this Avadhuta mean. So Avadhuta means that one who doesn't care for social conventions. That was Prabhupada was explaining in the purport, right? The word Avadhuta refers to one who does not care for social conventions, particularly the Varnashram Dharma. Now, this is different than Falgu Vairagi. Falgu Vairagi also will not care for social conventions, right? How will you make out then? How will you make out whether this person is really a real Avadhuta or a fake Vairagi? One who has developed renunciation, but the spirit, the mind is still dwelling on the sense objects, right? Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita such a person is called Falgu Vairagi. So how do we distinguish? So there are reference points in the scriptures. First is that they actually have developed the love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, they're not roaming around, and then they don't remain fixed at one place. So interestingly, the reference point I got when I was looking up is from the prayers to 6th Goswami. Let's go over this. So Prabhupada gives us this prayer to pray to 6th Goswami, which appears in Chaitanya Charitamrita, actually. Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Padakamalan, Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha, Shri Rupam Sa Agrajatam Sa Kana Raghunathan Vitam Sa Jivan. Sa Advaitam Sa Avadhutam. This one. Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. So what Sa means together, right? Sa Advaita means together with Advaitacharya. Sa Avadhutam. So here, Sa Avadhutam, Prabhupada is writing as translation. This Sa means together or along with, and Avadhuta is Nityananda Prabhu. Basically, in Krishna Lila, Balaram is called Avadhuta, right? Because he doesn't care. Avadhuta means that who doesn't care for the social norms. How do we know? Because Lord Balaram did pastimes which were completely like, for example, splitting Yamuna into two halves, threatening Yamuna to split her into two halves, or what was the only demon that Balram killed? What was his name?
Pralambasur.
Dhenukasur.
Very
Okay.
nice. Right, so Dhenukasur, or all the actors, if you read Lord Balaram's with the plow going around, or when there is a war in the family, he takes off for pilgrimage. Like, who does that? It is a war in the family. Mahabharat is happening, and he takes off for pilgrimage because he's like, I'm not going to take anybody's side. So I'm just going. You like it or you don't like it, I'm going. So Avadhuta is that person who does not care for social conventions. Rishabh Dev is not that he's breaking the laws. The thing is that he's not in the laws anymore. So he's not breaking the laws. So we have to understand there are other examples of Avadhuta personalities in the scriptures. Can you give me some examples of Avadhuta personalities? Huh?
Shukamuni and Jadabharata.
How do you say Sukdev Goswami is Avadhuta? Give me an example. How do you say? What did he do?
Before coming to in Hastinapura jungles, he was moving like this thing, dumb man and deaf man, and he was like not responding to anybody. Naked, he was moving around.
So yes, we see that Sukdev Goswami stayed in his mother's womb for 16 years. And the minute he got out, he ran for forest. He didn't even stop for anyone. Right? And Sukdev Goswami recited the whole Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. And when he finished reciting to Parikshit Maharaj in 12th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, we read, he gets up and leaves. He doesn't wait for anybody to pay obeisances, to thank him, or to, wait for Parikshit Maharaj to leave his body. He knows, Sukdev Goswami knows that the snake bird is going to come and now kill the body of Parikshit Maharaj, but he gets up and leaves. It's Avadhuta. 4 Kumaras are Avadhutas. Jadabharat is Avadhuta. Yes, very nice. So we have these personalities in our scriptures which are explained, and Prabhupada explains the other meaning of the word Avadhuta as air, like which is not impeded. We cannot impede air from going anywhere. Right? We say, okay, there's vacuum, but actually, is there vacuum? Is it 100% air-free place? So it's like an air. We can go, the personality can go anywhere. This Avadhuta personality can go anywhere. So Rishabh Dev, don't misunderstand, or don't try to, or what I'm trying to establish here is that try to understand the exalted position of Lord Rishabh Dev. Lord Rishabh Dev was exalted when he was a king. Lord Rishabh Dev was exalted when he was instructing his sons. Lord Rishabh Dev is now exalted also when he has renounced everything. So an exalted personality can portray all these things. Like when they are following the Varnashram Dharma. He gave instruction to his oldest son or to all his sons to follow the Varnashram Dharma by listening to Brahmanas, so that by listening to the Brahmanas who are best of all living entities, the Kshatriya can rule. Did he say that or no? He said there's Varnashram Dharma rule, no? That's a rule. Yes?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
He says that, but now he takes off and he doesn't follow any rule because he's free from it. So but we are not like that. Sometimes we have that tendency, okay, we tell other people to do it, but we don't do it. Right? Okay, you go do it, but we don't do it. Yeah. Do you do that sometimes in your life? You tell others to do it, but you don't do it. But that doesn't make us avaduta because we are in the modes of material nature very strongly. But Rishabh Dev told his sons to follow Brahmanas. He also did it when he was ruling as a king. Now he has accepted the position of a independent personality who doesn't care because he doesn't belong in this material world. If you look at each and everything, blind. What was he blind to? He was blind to the allurement of the material world. Deaf. What was he deaf to? Any kind of criticism or praise. Right? You dumb. What was he dumb to? There's no need for any other knowledge to be imbibed. The real knowledge is in the heart. Ideal stone. Ideal stone means what? The stone which is like, which is like fixed. Like it's fixed. His consciousness is fixed. What is that called as in second chapter Bhagavad Gita? Sthita Dhir Muni. Right? We read about Sthita Dhir Muni. So that's Sthita Dhir, whose consciousness is Sthita. Sthita means in Hindi, Sthita means situated. Right? It's situated. Yes, it does. It means that, right? Situated in Hindi. Sthit, Stapit. Like we say that.
Yes.
So Sthita Dhir Muni, or he's like situated there. I don't know what's happening here. Sorry. Or a ghost, because he can go anywhere. Madman, because he doesn't care for any rules and regulations. A ghost can go anywhere. So each of these analogies that are given for Rishabh Dev have a meaning, but it doesn't mean that we can behave like Rishabh Dev, or if we see somebody acting like Rishabh Dev, that personality is avaduta. It needs to be checked. It needs to be verified from the Shastras, because the list is there, because the signs are there. In Nectar of Devotion, chapter 35, one sign of avaduta is written. I was reading a few minutes ago. The sign of avaduta written is when the avaduta goes in public to speak, to make a point, they're very careful. And then they join thumb and forefinger. This is called samudra. And if you look at Prabhupada's pictures when he's giving classes, he has this mudra many times, like his thumb and forefinger is joined. Like the Devotion chapter 35 mentions the characteristics of avaduta. Okay, so Lord Rishabh Dev, Prabhupada mentions in the last verse that instructions of Lord Rishabh Dev are actually beneficial to who? To who? Brahmachari, Sannyasis, who have nothing to do with the material world. Now, to become a sannyasi, do we really have to take the sannyas ashram, or what does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita about who is a sannyasi? Tell me.
Sarva karma phalatyaga. No.
Okay.
The one.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you. More?
Situated in your own situation. In what situation you are situated there and you practice.
The one who lives off every material things, but he uses it for the Krishna.
Okay.
He knows
That's
everything
nice.
material, but uses for Krishna.
Very nice. Okay. And then if you read 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 1, Krishna describes the definition of a sannyasi. In the verse is anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na cha niragnir cha na akriyaha. So anashrita karya phalam. Ashraya means taking shelter, right? Anashriyata means not taking shelter. Karya phalam. Phalam means result, karya means work. So one who does not take shelter of the result of the work. Anashrita karya phalam. Karya karma karoti yaha. One who does the work like that. Does the work but does not take shelter of the result of the work. Sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. That person is a sannyasi, that person is a yogi. Na cha niragni, cha na akriya. Na cha niragni. Agni means fire. Not the one who does not light a fire. Nir agnir. Cha na akriya. Kriya means work, or akriya means does not work, or one who does not do a work. So one who does not take shelter of the result of the work is a sannyasi and a yogi, not a person who does not light any fire or does not do any activity. So that way, the instructions of the Rishabh Dev are accessible to, yes, to a literal sannyasi who has taken a sannyas ashram. Yes, but if somebody who's living like a sannyasi also. So we can imbibe these instructions. These instructions have many different avenues to explore in our daily life. Okay, but understand, because from here on, whatever symptom and signs of the life of Rishabh Dev that Sukhdev Goswami is going to disclose to us is going to be based on this particular verse, that he is an avaduta. He is not caring for any social convention. Why? Because he is not in it anymore. Why is he not in it? Because his consciousness is completely fixed on something which doesn't belong to Varnashram, which doesn't belong to the rules and regulation of Varnashram Dharma. What is the ultimate goal of Varnashram Dharma? Is the goal of Varnashram Dharma is to become very nice, moral person?
Samsiddhim haritoshanam.
No.
Samsiddhim haritoshanam.
What does it mean? Explain it to us, please.
Please, Krishna.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. Yes, Mathaji, somebody else was going to say something. Yes, the goal of Varnashram Dharma is not to become a perfect sannyasi, a perfect brahmachari, perfect grahastha, perfect brahmana, or vanaprastha, but the goal of Varnashram Dharma is to become fully Krishna conscious. Right, so how do we become fully Krishna conscious? By developing pure devotional service to Krishna, which satisfies Krishna. Right, in chapter 2 of Nectar of Devotion, when we understand the characteristics of pure devotional service, we understand that Krishna likes pure devotional service. Pure devotional services attracts Krishna. So that is the goal of the Varnashram Dharma, and not to become a perfectly perfect. Yes, perfectly perfect Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra will also be a person who is satisfying Krishna in their own way, with their own ability. Okay, so this person is not in Maya, because we are going to read some critical discussions about the signs and symptoms of Rishabh Dev from here on, which is going to be completely opposite to what we have read earlier in chapter 20, chapter number 4, where he was behaving as a very regulated and disciplined king. Okay. And any questions, reflections, realizations, or corrections? Understand? What does it mean? Blind, deaf, dumb, idle, stone, ghost, madman. These are the adjectives used to describe him.
Mataji, will you please explain once more this blind, deaf, and dumb reference? Mataji, what do you really
The
mean?
blind is blind to the allurement of the material world. Doesn't attract him. It's not that he cannot see, but he's blind to what? Deaf. He's deaf to all kind of praise and insult. Dumb. He does not. He becomes like, okay, there's no need for me to acquire any more knowledge. You know, you may not inclined to teach a dumb man. Yeah, are you gonna go and give a PhD degree to a dumb man? No, he's behaving like that because so that nobody disturbs him. Ideal, because ideal is a stone, because it's fixed, his consciousness is fixed. I give a reference of Sita Dhir Muni. Ghost, because he can go anywhere. Nothing can restrict him because of his being like Avaduta. Madman, because he's not following any rules and regulations. Okay. I think we'll stop here today. And then we'll carry on from tomorrow onwards, because the discussions are critical. And I'll take over the